Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. You guys know you send me a ton of awesome questions, so today I'm going to take some time and answer them. You're watching SnakeBytes. The first question I want to tackle is one I get asked an awful lot, and is that, can I overhandle my snake? You have to remember that in the wild, these snakes obviously aren't getting handled at all. And the only thing that ever concerns me about overhandling is stress. Because these snakes aren't used to being handled, there is an amount of stress that goes along with it. So as long as your snake seems healthy and happy, I don't think there's an amount you can overhandle it. The next question is, how do you handle big snakes? And when you have an animal like this albino granite Burmese python, that's not a huge animal, but she's about 12 to 13 foot and over 100 pounds. The first thing you don't want to do is ever grab it behind the head. You see it in movies sometimes, and even some handlers that just grab them right behind the head. They will absolutely freak out if you do that. When you're handling a big snake like this, it can kind of be tiring because they are just one big muscle. What I always tell people to do is let the snake kind of dictate where it wants to go and more guide it than actually push it in a direction, because they'll fight you 100%. But as you can see, if you just let it kind of chill out, it'll kind of do its own thing, and that's perfectly fine. So again, number one, don't ever handle a big snake like this unless you have someone else around. And number two, definitely never grab it behind the head. Other than that, they're an awesome animal to deal with. Another question I get asked an awful lot with people that are buying colubrid snakes, just like this year-old snow motley corn snake, is that first year, do I need to hibernate my animal? The truth is, there's only two reasons to hibernate a snake. One is if it needs to cool down because it's not feeding very well, or two, if you're going to breed the animal. If you have a pet snake, most of the time you never have to hibernate the animal. We personally never hibernate a colubrid the first season because we're really looking to try to put as much food and as much size on the animal, so the second year when we do cool them down for breeding, they're that much bigger for us. So basically the answer is no need to hibernate your colubrid the first season, and really no need to ever hibernate your animal unless you're planning on breeding it.
All right guys, it's Cal's Question Week. On this whole show, Brian's answering your questions. I've had some questions on my mind too, like what happens when you die, and are we the only intelligent life form out in the universe, and what is the meaning of life, and is George really a reincarnated 8-year-old ballerina? Anyway, I want to know from you guys, what are some questions that just boggle your mind? Text your video, comment below. Let me know.
The question is, does breeding snakes shorten their lifespan? I think we should look at this a little bit different and actually ask, does captive breeding shorten the lifespan? I tell you, with pythons and boas, I don't think it does at all because they produce on their own schedule. This ball python is actually 20 plus years old, and in the wild they typically only live between 20 and 25 years. So you can see this one's still going strong after 20 years of breeding. Now with colubrids it might be another situation. Because we double clutch them each year, I wonder if it does shorten their lifespan a little bit, but it's really hard to say and there's not enough data for me to really tell. Most of my corn snakes live in between 12 and 14 years, and I think in the wild they might get an extra couple years, but it's nothing extremely significant. The next question is, how do I not get bit when I'm picking up a snake? As you can see with this clown ball python, it's super ready to bite me. It's coiled up in an S position and it's even striking. The best way not to get bit by an animal like this is to come around back and do it relatively quick. Once you pick the animal up, oftentimes, and as a matter of fact most of the time, it's not going to strike or bite anymore. The biggest thing is to pick it up from the back end so that you're not going face first where it's going to bite your hand. And secondly, do it relatively swiftly and with confidence. I always say the more confident you are when you're handling a snake, the less likely you are to get bit. Okay, the next question is, why don't I keep anacondas? And it comes down to exactly what I'm doing here, and that's cleaning cages. I used to actually keep yellow and even green anacondas for a short time. Now the greens are the ones that get big, and the yellows only get about 10 foot, but the problem is that they're really dirty animals. They seem like they're always messing their cage up. And with this Burmese python cage, I might have to clean it once a week. With the same cage with an anaconda in it, you're probably looking at 2 or even 3 times. And I just couldn't justify keeping an animal that was that dirty. Other than that, they definitely are really interesting animals. The next question is, how can I get a stubborn male to breed? I tell you, most male snakes actually will breed pretty readily, but ball pythons can sometimes be a little tricky, and one of the biggest tricks that I do is, say with this killer bee, that sometimes can be a little bit of a shy breeder, is a lot of times before I put them in with the female, I'll stick them in with a really good male like this Pastavi male that's known for breeding really well, and I'll just put them in there for 15 or 20 minutes and let him get kind of a little bit of combat going on. A lot of times that's enough to get this male spurred on, so when I put him in with females, he's ready to breed. Another trick I'll use is, let's say this killer bee is a really good breeder with this particular female, which is a cinnamon pastel, but it doesn't want to have anything to do with this pinstripe ball python. What I'll end up doing is put the cinnamon female in with the pinstripe female along with the male killer bee, and oftentimes that's enough to spur him on to not only breed the cinnamon, but sometimes it seems like something is rubbing off and the pinstripe will actually breed too. And lastly, with ball pythons, every now and then I'll go ahead and just spray them down during the breeding season, and for some reason that water and that spritzing actually will induce the breeding. So that's about it when it comes to my stubborn male snakes. Hey guys, I got that new incubator back. Can you get that set up for me? The directions are in Chinese. I have no idea what they say.
Another new incubator?
Can you take care of that?
You got it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Are you sure you know what you're doing? You have all these extra pieces. I don't even know where this goes.
Kel, I took karate for like 8 years. I can read Chinese. Here, plug this in.
Alright.
Wait, stop!
What the f? I'm white!
George, why are you yelling? Oh my god, you gotta be me.
Why do I sound like you? Why do you look like me? Why am I so hot in here? Jeez, what is going on? What's happening?
Hey, chill out. We're gonna figure this out. Somehow our bodies switched.
Like in that Lindsay Lohan movie?
No, like that Zac Efron movie.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know, but we gotta figure this out because I cannot be black.
What's so wrong with being black?
Nothing. I mean, I can talk during movies now. And George, do you really want to be a white guy?
Hey, I think I make a pretty good white guy.
But you can't say anymore?
Watch your mouth. You can't say that. That's it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's the now? Get your change.
It's still your George. I'm just renting it. That sounds bad.
Guys! What the hell is all this yelling about?
Brian, something's up with your Chinese incubator. It transfers our brains into each other's bodies.
Look, I'm not in the mood for jokes today, George.
No, it's me, Kel. I'm trapped in George's body and he's trapped in mine.
Oh, George, don't be ridiculous. We were just horsing around like usual. We're sorry we were so loud, Brian. We'll get back to work.
Okay. All right, Cal.
See? No one ever believes the black guy. Boy, am I gonna love this.
I guess this won't be too bad. Yeah, buddy. I guess all stereotypes aren't bad. Yes, sir, though. Lucky they're Irish right there, eh?
Okay, but how do we change back?
We just gotta do the same thing we did in reverse.
Okay, so I'll grab the wires inside the incubator.
And I'll touch your shoulder after you get electrocuted. That should work.
Alright, here goes nothing.
Oh God, I'm gonna be black forever.
Oh no, wait, you were plugging it in when it happened.
Oh yeah, right, alright.
Guys? Come on, I don't need this today.
Sorry, Brian, there's something serious wrong with the incubator. You need to send it back.
Really? Crap.
Should have bought American.
For this week's Comment of the Week on the Snake for Christmas episode, the question was, do you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays? And Lily Knight said,
The way I see it, Christmas is practically a secular holiday for me and for many other people. I see nothing religious about buying gifts, decorating evergreen trees, and hanging lights. I wish people Merry Christmas out of habit. I have friends from all faiths, and even atheists I know get involved with all the gift exchanging and spending time with friends and family. I am a pagan and celebrate Yule as a religious holiday and Christmas as a secular one.
Well, there's no doubt that this was probably the most controversial when it comes to comments for this particular show. You guys get a chance, go back and read those comments on YouTube. They were absolutely awesome. And speaking of comments, you guys keep sending me creative comments. I'm going to feature you on a future episode. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and I was able to answer a few of the more popular questions. I want to give a huge shout out to the community, reptiliansnakes.de.tl. I don't read German, so I have no idea what the site says, but it looks pretty cool and they sure did blow it up over on the Snake Bites TV Facebook page. Until next time, this has been Snake Bites.